Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Imagineering Moment. My name is Catherine J, and today's Imagineering Moment is continuing on teaching about Australian law. So I'm absolutely not a lawyer, but I have been a civics teacher in a high school in Australia. So today we're going to look at the usual path of a bill. And so basically, at the moment, there's a lot of us looking at court cases around the nation, and especially those who have never looked at that before. And just there's so much history in the making at the moment. So what I want to do is go through the usual path of a bill, and we're going to try and keep it super short and simple as usual. Okay, so we have the House of Reps, which is the lower house. So you have the first reading and the second reading. And then so the first reading is just like it's just introduced. And then the second reading is the detail and the main ideas of the bill. If it passes, but once it goes through the second reading, then it goes to the House Committee and it's considered in detail. I'm reading, as I'm looking down, I'm actually reading it. Okay, so it's an opportunity for everybody to come together, and then it hits a third reading, and then if there's no changes, it gets passed. Okay, if it gets passed from the lower house, which is the House of Reps, then it goes up to the Senate, and basically the same process goes again. So it's the first reading, which is the introduction, the second reading, which is the senators debate and vote on the main idea of the bill, but then it goes to the Senate committee, and then they just go through it in detail and any changes that they want to make to the bill, which then it will go back again. And if it just goes through, then it will go to the third reading, and then the bill would be passed. If it passes with no amendments with the lower house and the upper house, which is the House of Reps and the Senate, then it goes up to what we call the royal assent, and the Governor General signs it into law, or signs the bill, and then the bill becomes an act of Parliament. So that's usually how it works. So as we're going through and we're looking at that, there's some massive ones, super important, not only for employees, but also employers, and looking at the liabilities of any reactions to this injection at the moment. So massive issues. However, what's happening at the moment in 2020 and 2021 is that the states and the nation of Australia has given themselves emergency powers, which is similar to, if you remember, with President Biden on his first day. He just signed a whole pile of executive orders, which meant he overrode all of the law system and then put them in. And he could do that, but then it's showing that you're more of a controller rather than democracy, because the whole point of having a democracy is that you have your checks and balances. And when you're going through either the House Committee or the Senate Committee, you're actually looking at the details of the law and how it's been written, and then you're trying to work out, okay, what is every consequence? You're trying to play the movie forward to see if that's actually something that you want done for the nation of Australia that's in the best interest of the people. So, yeah, because once things become law, it's usually there and doesn't normally go back. So I was going to bring in some other things, but we won't have time because I'm trying to stick to a low time limit, the same. So Imagineering Moment. So the more that we can educate ourselves with how bills are passed and that we can understand what's going on, then we are empowered. So because we can all do something. Like I also had a conversation with someone yesterday and they said, what can I do? And I'm like, there's so many things people can do. And that's what Imagineering to a Better World is all about. We can change the world one day at a time, one person at a time, one decision at a time. And it starts with education. Thanks so much for watching and have an awesome day. If you like this,